Good evening. You are welcome to another edition of Import-Export Platform Facebook Live from 3 Pest Trade Academy. My name is Dele Ayemibo, and we'll continue from where we stopped in our conversation on Nigerian states are billionaires in dollars. I'm talking about the fact that Nigerian state have not lived up to its responsibility. Nigerian state is not as poor as is portrayed. Those that are impoverished the state are the managers of the state, who are practically shy away from their responsibilities. So we are talking about the last region of the country today under Agric. Tomorrow morning I will start discussing solid minerals, and I'll move from one region of the country to the other, discussing the solid mineral potentials and what we can do with those solid minerals. Nigerian states are billionaires in dollars. Nigerian states have everything it needs to survive. Nigerian state have only not lived up to its responsibility in doing what it needs to do in order for it to survive. Nigerian states are billionaires in dollars. When you look at the opportunities available for Nigerian states, you will realize that Nigerian states are not poor at all. We have done southeast, southwest, south-south. If you have missed any of the series, please just go on my YouTube channel or on my Facebook page. Just search through with the same name that you are seeing now, and then you can just change the number. We are currently looking at 31 or 32. 32. Then if you change the number, you'll be able to see it. The Nigerian states are not poor. Nigerian states are not as unviable or not viable as they portray them. The only challenge Nigerian states have had is inability to manage the resources efficiently and effectively. You know, some Nigerian states don't even know the potential of what they have. Suffering among plenty. Nigerian states are billionaires in dollars, but Nigerian states are suffering right in the midst of plenty that they've been endowed with by God. Nigerian states are billionaires in dollars. Nigerian states are billionaires in dollars. Yesterday evening, I looked at North Central. This morning, I looked at Northwest. And this evening, I looked at Northeast. And as I look at Northeast, I'm not in doubt as to the challenges we are currently facing in the country. I'm not in doubt of that at all. But I'm also aware that even though it's challenging to do farming in some of those places, but I also know there are local governments in those places that are not really affected like others. Nigerian states are billionaires. So the reason I'm saying that is so that someone will not say, how do you expect them to farm because they are faced with these challenges? But just like someone will say, how do you expect Nigeria to live in peace when there is killing every day? But you and I know that the killing is not in all the states of the country. There are still some part of the country that enjoy relative peace. I'm basically saying that even though some states in the country, in the state, some states might have challenges with some local government, but I know for a fact that definitely not all the local government. I'm basically saying that the government can still do something in those states, especially in local government that don't have those challenges. So I'm not unaware of the challenges peculiar to some northern states. Northeastern state, Adamawa, Bauchi, Gombe, Borno, Taraba, and Yobe. Adamawa, Bauchi, Gombe, Borno, Taraba, and Yobe. What do we have in Adamawa? Cocoa, cotton, cassava, gum arabic, granite. What do we have in Bauchi? Cotton, cassava, gum arabic, garlic. What do we have in Gombe? Sesame seed, ginger, cassava, gum arabic, granite, cotton. What do we have in Borno? Sesame seed, garlic, cassava, gum arabic, granite, yam. What do we have in Taraba? Cotton, cassava, gum arabic, granite, yam, sesame seed, cashew nut. What do we have in Yobe? Cotton, cassava, gum arabic, granite, and sesame seed. So can we look at some states in this area and check them out? Let's check out a state like Adamawa State. Let's check out a state like Adamawa State. What does Adamawa State have to offer? What does Adamawa State have to offer? What can we enjoy? What can Adamawa State enjoy from the natural endowment it has? What can Adamawa State enjoy from a natural endowment that it has? So we are looking at Adamawa State. Remember, we are looking at regions. I'm going to go to the state very soon. I have 6 more episodes after this, and that will be Wednesday to Friday. I will deal with the 6th episode to do solid minerals. Immediately I'm done with solid minerals across the state. Then we will start taking each of the states one by one, starting from Abia down to Zamfara State. For every state, we introduce the state, remind ourselves of the governors, the executive of the state, and discuss the potentials of the state, and then discuss our prototype for the state. Our prototype for the state. We strongly believe that Nigerian state have everything it needs to survive. That's why we are doing all the research or researches that we are doing to be able to prove beyond every reasonable doubt that if our governor can just think through a little bit, apply some intelligence, much more than they are applying right now, we can have a better state, we can have a better country, we can have a... There's no reason why any state will be poor. Nigerian state, I dare say, are billionaires in dollars. Nigerian states are not poor. Who impoverished Nigerian state? The handler of the people. Who impoverished Nigerian state? The handler. Who are the handlers? The governors. Could it be that indeed the governor are not aware of the potential their state have? Probably. Some people have said it. Probably. Probably. And as a result of our conversation, I'm currently I'm working on a proposal to a state governor who someone in the state have indicated interest for us to work with them. And like I said, the objective is not to really work with them. The objective actually is to create a template that others can work with. So at the end of the day, they don't even need to engage us. And please trust me, I'm not interested in them engaging us. I'm interested in them implementing that idea for the betterment of their state. And the reason why I'm not interested in them engaging us because our interest in this is for national development, not for personal gain. I'm very much aware that some states will love this to do, but the selfishness of some people in government will kill it. I was talking to a lady this afternoon, and I told her she is working with a state in the southwest, and I said, look, please go ahead and run with it as your idea. I don't want to be part of it. You can work with them. When it's time to engage people to train, just let us know, we'll come and do the training. You take it up and let your company partner with them. Because there are some things they will say that if I hear, it put me off. And things like, what is in it for us? Because more than 99.9% of most people in government, 99.9%, that means there is still a very tiny fraction. But 99.9% are in government for their pocket. And you are surprised that they are not able to do much for the state. They are there for their pocket. Anything that will require them exerting so much effort, physically and mentally, without a commensurate return, is a waste. It's just like me. We've done starting and managing export business from part 1 to part 103. Nobody sent us message. We did it ourselves. Make information available online. We currently started again another series. Nigerian state are billionaires in dollars. We still have down the line importing into Nigeria. We have down the line service export from Nigeria. So many things we want to talk about. Not caring what anybody is giving. Why? Because of our interest in national development. I'm saying all that on record. So that if they contact us and we say no, get that company registered, partner with a trading company in your state, we can come and do the training. If you want to give us honorarium, that's fine. Just take care of our transport to come down and our accommodation. We are very much particular about people implement this idea, making it to work. That is enough satisfaction for us at 3 Imperial Trade Academy. So the whole essence of going through this is not for personal gain, it's actually for national development. And that for me is very important, so I need to make that straight. So someone don't think, like, because I told the lady today that, look, I really don't want to even travel to go and meet anybody. Why? That's not my objective. My objective is for them to implement it and I can advise them. But let them hire people that we can train to do it. Adamawa State. Adamawa State made 55 billion naira last year. Adamawa State is currently owing over 100 billion naira. Why is an Adamawa in so much debt when the state is not generating enough revenue? Do you know that Adamawa's IGR is just about 10% of the total revenue last year? You know what that is telling me? Adamawa is not a viable state, the way it's currently being run by the governors, but it has potential to be able to become viable through cocoa, cotton, cassava, gum arabic, and granite. Cocoa, cotton, cassava, gum arabic, and granite. Cocoa is a $9.35 billion market. Cocoa is a $9.35 billion market. Cassava, joining us at different points in time. Cassava trade is $2.1 billion. Cassava trade is $2.1 billion. Cassava alone. Remember, cocoa is 9.35. Remember, cocoa is 9.35. You know, I'm emphasizing these figures to let you know that there is so much money to be made by these governors, and you know a lot of these governors don't even know where to pay salary from. How do you explain the fact that a state like Adamawa is owing over $100 billion, naira, and Adamawa total income in a year is about 55 last year, and Adamawa barely made 6 billion out of the 55. And you will be surprised if you see the budget. The budget for the new year, Adamawa budget for the new year for 2009. Okay, it's not here. It's not here. I would have been shocked if I see the volume. Because sometimes, sincerely, when you look at what this state is doing and the way they are running the state, the way they are running the affair of the state, sincerely, is worrisome, it's unfortunate, and something needs to be done very fast. Because it's like some people will run down the state. I know the debt there was made by the new governor, and if the new governor was there for the last time and is there now, he has opportunity to turn things around. He has opportunity to turn things around. Adamawa State should not be owing this much. Adamawa State have everything it needs to survive. But Adamawa State is in huge debt. Adamawa State is in huge debt. Granite, 2.89 billion. About 3 billion. Granite. $3 billion is over $1 trillion naira. And I'm saying the state can take a fraction of that. Even if it's just 5% of that. The state can begin to consider the export of peanuts out of Nigeria. The state can train its people in how to avoid issues with agricultural produce that will prevent it from being exported. The state can actually sell some of these products locally. Even though my interest is not in local trade, my interest is in export trade. But you know what? If they are able to produce and they can use local sale to meet their short-term cash flow need, why not? Why not? If the state just decide that we want to get just 5% of the world trade volume in different products, just 5%. 5% in granite, 5% in agric, in cassava, 5% in cocoa, just 5%. 5%. You will be surprised at what this state can do. You will be surprised at what this state can do. Nigerian state are billionaires in dollars. Nigerian state are not poor as they are portrayed. Who has impoverished Nigerian state? The handlers of the economy. Who are the handlers of the economy? Of course, our dear governors. Of course, our dear governors. They are the handlers of the economy. They are the ones to help us achieve our objective. Nigerian states are billionaires in dollars. Nigerian state have not taken advantage of what it has. I dare say that Nigerian states are billionaires in dollars. But Nigerian state have not been able to take advantage of all the opportunity that has been given to it. Because the people running the economy don't even have a clue on how to go about it. But that's fine. Ignorance is a gift. It keeps everybody humble, helping us to be able to then humbly look for and seek for knowledge to impart our world. If you have the destiny of millions of people in your hand as a state governor and you're unable to provide their basic need, I think that is not commendable. That is reprehensible. You are hired to take care of them. Please do your job. If you don't know what to do, here is a suggestion for you. Can I move on to Bauchi, please? Bauchi State. Bauchi State. Bauchi State. Bauchi State. Bauchi State is another very interesting state for me. Very interesting in the sense that the state have potential also, just like every other state, but the state have not lived up to its responsibility. Why are Nigerian states unable to live up to their responsibility? Because the managers don't have a clue on how to run the economy of the state. The managers did not come to help the state generate income. The managers actually came to help the state spend its money. If all a governor is coming to do is to collect money on our behalf and issue contract to work, if that is what makes to be a governor, every Tom, Dick, and Harry can be a governor. Because anybody can spend money. No wonder people are dying to become governors of their state. They will kill and maim to get that position. Not because they love the people, but because of personal interest. Let's move on to Bauchi State. First of all, how much did Bauchi make last year? Bauchi State made 63 billion naira last year. Of this 63 billion naira, Bauchi State generates about 15% of it. 15% of it was generated internally. Bauchi State cannot survive without Abuja. Bauchi State is owing almost 150 billion naira. That is one of the biggest. What that state will tell you want to do. Let me see if they have a budget. Bauchi want to spend 200 billion this year. And Bauchi last year made 63 billion. That means about 140 billion is going to be borrowed. That is if they are able to generate up to 63 again this year. But Bauchi State is a blessed state. Both in minerals and agricultural commodity, Bauchi State is a blessed state. Bauchi State is a blessed state. Having all that is required for it to be its best, I have no doubt in my mind of the potential of Bauchi State. Nigerian states are billionaires in dollars. Bauchi State is leading the way. Bauchi State is blessed. But who has impoverished Bauchi State, for crying out loud? Who has impoverished Bauchi State? Why is Bauchi State so rich and at the same time so poor? Why is Bauchi State so rich and at the same time so poor? This can only happen because the handlers of the economy don't have a clue. Let's go through what Bauchi State have to offer. Number one, can we look at the garlic market? Garlic market, $0.3 billion 0.3, about 350 million. Garlic market. Gum Arabic, 0.4. Gum Arabic, 0.4. Gum Arabic trade itself. Oh, sorry. Okay, this is not garlic. Let me check garlic. Okay. Sorry. Gum Arabic trade is altogether about 0.8 billion. 0.8 billion. Gum Arabic trade altogether about 0.8 billion. Gum Arabic trade altogether about 0.8 billion. Gum Arabic trade altogether about 0.8 billion. That is interesting. Very, very interesting. About 0.8 billion Gum Arabic trade. You know, what's also always interesting for me whenever I look at this is, okay, let's look at garlic. Garlic is 3.1 billion market. $3.1 billion market. Garlic. $3.1 billion market. Garlic. That is 10 trillion. Sorry, that is 1 trillion. About more than 1 trillion actually. If you look at it at 360, more than 1 trillion. Garlic. And a state like Bauchi is a producer of garlic. But you know what? It's not being considered. Look at another thing that you can find in that state. If you look at that state, garlic, gum Arabic, cassava. Sorry, I was trying to get that. Cassava. Sorry. Remember, cassava is about almost $5 billion. Cassava alone, almost $5 billion. That is just cassava. Then if I look at cotton, the pure cotton, 12 billion, mixed cotton, 1.5 billion. When you look at the potential of Bauchi State, from cotton over 12 billion, cassava about 5 billion, gum Arabic about 0.8 billion, garlic about 3 billion, that is going to more than $30 billion. Raw commodity, no value addition. And you are telling me that Bauchi State cannot take advantage of doing something about this? Of course they can. I am saying Nigerian state are billionaires in dollars. Nigerian state simply need the handlers of that economy to come in and consider. Do you know the beauty of this? A state governor that decides to take this serious, we create job for his teeming youth and generate income to pay salary. We create job for his teeming youth and generate income to pay salary. So we have every reason to share this with all the people you can share with, who have relationship with people that know the governor, for them to begin to do something. as far as this is concerned. Tomorrow morning we'll continue from where we stop, and we'll be looking at minerals. Minerals across board. And I'll start from Southwest again. Thank you very much for listening. Bye for now.